Hey, hey, hey. Tucheze sasa. Hey, hey, hey. 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 Hey, hey, hey. Tucheze sasa.
Hello, good evening. I believe we are having a good evening. Or maybe those who are watching us and they are in different countries where we have time difference. Good morning or good afternoon. And I believe that you are having it like all is well. So today we are going to talk about something really important. And I know this is something that we've all been thinking of how we are going to deal with it. This is, screen time versus Swahili time. Uh-huh. Where we are going to turn the passive screen habit into an active language practice. Isn't that amazing? Uh-huh. I know this is one thing that every parent want to know how to deal with. And today we are going to talk about this, and I know every parent thinks of, the screen time. And I want to tell you right now that we are to tell you right away that we are not going to tell you that to cut down screen time. Nah, mm-mm. I'm not going to tell you to cut down screen time. Instead, we are going to show you how to make the screen time of your child um, that we are going to make the screen time of your child already has for something, for Swahili. Uh-huh. We are not against it. We are not against screen time, but we are going to turn it into, to make it to be something that we can use for Swahili time. Yeah. So parents who are in this live session, roughly how many minutes or how many hours of screen time does your child have on a typical day? Uh-huh. Type on the comment section, tell us how many hours of screen time does your child have on a typical day. Okay. So today the goal isn't to less the screen time. Mm-mm. Today the goal is not to reduce the screen time. No, we are not going to do that. We are going to make it to be a smarter screen time. And you know how we are going to do it? So we are going to add a few additionals onto the screen time. Uh-huh. So the right language content, a little bit of narration, and a couple of bridge phrases. Okay? Mhm. And then can turn into a habit where parents, often feel guilty, about, and we're going to make it to be the easiest low effort language tools that are going to be needed for you to use because you're already running this every day. So let us look at these points one by one and see how we are going to turn the screen time into Swahili time slowly without having to use a lot of energy. Uh-huh. So let's look at this. So passive and active screen time are not the same. Do you know that? Uh-huh. The passive and active screen time, they are not the same. Uh-huh. Parents, let's clear up the guilt right away. The screens are never the problem. True. The screens are never the problem. The real question is whether your child is just absorbing silently or actually engaging. A child watching Swahili cartoons in total silence gets far less benefit than the one whose parent occasionally asks, Umeona nini? What did you see? Or what can you see? What have you seen in the show or during the show? Mhm. So it has also choose the language of content, not just the content itself. So when we they are using their tablets or whatever their tablets, their phone, let us as parents try to choose the content, the language content, not just the content itself. Uh-huh. You as a parent, you are already curating what your child watches. The same effort can get into curating which language they actually watch in without changing the total time at all. Did you know that you can do that? Uh-huh. So swapping, one weekly cartoon episode for Swahili, which is dubbed, or Swahili language equivalents without even changing the total screen time. So because you're already curating what the child is actually watching, you also have the power to actually curate which language the child can actually use in watching these particular cartoons. And we say you can be alternating. Uh-huh. Each week this, tomorrow this, the other week this, and with that one, I know that it is going to have a great impact on the child when it comes to language learning and language acquiring. Uh-huh. Again, another thing that I want us to do is that narrate alongside what's on the screen. Narrate alongside what is on the screen, what the child is watching. Oh yeah. So you don't need to mute the TV or to add a language. No, you don't need to do that. Just do it alongside. Use simple real time words. Okay, even on an English show. For example, you can say saying you can when you're watching something and you say anakimbia, he is running. When a character runs across the screen, regardless of what language the show itself it is in. Uh-huh. So let us narrate alongside what is on the screen. Remember, those who are joining us today, we are talking about screen time versus Swahili time, where we are saying that we do not have to say to cut the screen time. No, but we are using that screen time in a smarter way. Uh, so you can also use screen time as a springboard, or for you can use screen time for a springboard for offline conversations. Yeah. Uh-huh. So a lot of real language practice they actually happen after the screen is turned off. Did you know that? And I know you've already seen that already with your kids. That after the screen is off, this is when you and your child tend to have, you tend to practice something or you tend to have conversation because maybe you're discussing what happened there. Uh-huh. So while it is still fresh in mind, I know that is what we do because we'd like to capture and know what they literally got. Mhm. Aha, maybe you can ask, ulipenda nini kwenye kipindi? What did you love? What did you like in the show? Aha, the moment the show ends, we can do that because we are using this we are using the screen time as a springboard for offline conversations. Like you're now trying to see, did they really understand what was there? What did they really like in that um whatever they were watching? Uh-huh. Mm. Do you know that we can actually turn the background music into a passive immersion? Did you know that not all screen, not all screen adjacent time needs to be visual? Sure. So you see, the audio during screen-free moments counts too, and it's completely effortless as well. Children playing a Swahili kid playlist during drawing or quietly playing time, so language is present even without the screen on. Uh-huh. Did you know that if your kids like drawing or painting, yes, drawing, painting, and all that, you can turn the background music on. Uh-huh. Because it is going to act into, it is going to be what you call a, they are going to listen to the words as they do what they like most. And through that, they are also able to learn the language. They may not sing it right away, they may not sing along right away, but later on, maybe when they are alone and there's no music on the background, you might hear them sing. Did you know that? Uh huh. So, sometimes as parents, we need to, use pause and predict moments when we are watching. Again, remember, today we are not here to say no to screen time. We are here to turn it into a way that can be of an advantage to us parents. Okay, so sometimes you can pause. Sometimes, yes, you can pause and predict moments, uh, just pausing briefly to ask what might happen next turns passive watching into an active thinking. Into an active thinking in either languages, be it be it English, be it Swahili, but pausing right before the reveal and ask, munadhani ni nini kitatokea, ama unadhani ni nini kitafanyika, ama unadhani atafanya nini. That you do before pressing play again. And you know, you'll keep them thinking. And they'd want to engage in a conversation. And with that, again, there are so many skills that you will be impact. There are so many skills. There are so many skills that that child there will be learning. Not only the language, but also they are building in communication skills, how to talk, and also you as a parent, you want to check whether they are understanding, so also comprehension skills. Uh-huh. Okay, let's move on swiftly. So we have bridge phrases turn screen time into routine. So, bridge phrases that turn the screen time into routines. A simple phrase before and after a show frames screen time as part of the day's language rhythm, not to actually break from it. So, you decide to say, wacha tuangalie, let's watch. To start, and then tumemaliza, we have finished. That is the end. you know we have small bookends round the same viewing happen and viewing habits that are already existing. Now they know that this is the start. Tuangalie, wacha tuangalie sasa, let's watch now. Tumemaliza, we have now finished. When it is at the end, there they will know that okay, this is what we say when we are starting. or you can say wacha tuanze. uh This is what we say when we are starting. Tumemaliza. This is when we say when it is over. You see, let's use that to our advantage. Let's use this screen time to our advantage so that um, the kids can learn without even realizing that they're actually learning a language, right? As we started, remember we say that this is going to be effortless. You're not going to put a lot of energy to it because this screen time is something that is already existing. So we are just being smart about it. Okay. Parents, did you know that co-viewing works better than actually solo viewing? See, a child who is watching alongside a parent, even briefly, has far more chances for real language exchange than one watching entirely alone. Did you know that? That if I watch with my child a certain Swahili show, I have a chance of exchanging conversation with my child, rather than my child watching it alone. Uh-huh. So sitting with a child for just 5 minutes of the show to comment and ask question, then letting them continue watching is advised. Get to know whether they know what they're watching. Get to know whether they are actually even understanding the language used. Uh-huh. Because from that now you are able to exchange uh exchange, have conversation around it, and maybe they're able to tell you, oh, imeanza huyu akifanya hivi na hivi. I mean, it becomes even, easy for them. They may even want to tell you who their best actor is already. Uh-huh. So parents, let us use interactive apps. Do you know that these interactive apps can actually prompt real language production? Yes, that is true. That interacting apps can prompt, real language production. That is true. And that is why at Tayari.live we have our app. And our app is actually very interactive, where we have lessons in them. In the app we have lesson, we have Simba Anasema, which most of us know as Simon Says, and then we have what is this, Mchezo, and then we have wimbo na densi, and then lastly we have Jibu Nyanya, where you have a real conversation with grandmama. Uh-huh. And that AI grandma keeps on asking you questions, and this makes it very interactive to use. And that's why I'm saying that interactive apps can prompt real language production. So it is to urge you to visit us at our site and see what we offer in terms of language acquisition and all that. And let us introduce you to our app that is going to help your child to acquire this beautiful, beautiful language. So, unlike passive videos, interactive content, yes, unlike the passive videos that we have, this interactive content often require a child to respond, same as you have to respond to AI grandmama. To choose or actually even speak. So, which is much closer to what you call active practice. And I know most of the parents usually wonder, mostly during the school holidays or even after school now, what am I going to use or what am I going to do in order to reduce this screen time? So today I'm telling you, don't reduce it, but use that screen time to have interacting apps that are going to prompt, real language production. Because through that, you are going to, the child will still have the screen time, but again, learning. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. So a simple Swahili vocabulary app where a child taps the correct word after hearing it it actually turns tap time into recall practice. Okay. Another thing that I want us to see today is that, screen time limits don't need to change. Don't limit, you don't need to change. Mhm. You don't need to change habits around it. No. You don't need to cut screen time to see language gains. No. The more sustainable shift is adjusting what is actually happening around the same amount of time. Mhm. Keeping the existing 30 minutes screen time routine exactly as it is, but add 2 minutes chats before and after. And also what you have, the extra time just, around it. What you have just, we say that we need to be smart about this. And we are saying we are not cutting the screen time. We are not limiting screen time, but we are adding something around it. Something that is also going to benefit the child. Yeah. I know most of us, feels like the child is dwelling mostly on screen to watch cartoons, play Roblox. Uh-huh. But again, you can turn it into something beneficial, something that can work for both of you. Yeah. So during this screen time, whether the child is watching what do you call a cartoon, you can actually turn on the Swahili subtitles. Yeah? Even on English content, you can do that. So here is a simple trick. Turning on the Swahili subtitles during the English show lets your child see written Swahili while hearing the spoken English. And this quietly building the word recognition. Uh-huh. So let us turn on the Swahili subtitles even on English content. And when we do this, they are listening, they can hear the voices actually in English. Uh-huh. But whatever is written down there is in Swahili. Do you know what this does? It builds what you call word recognition. Yeah. So a child watching their favorite English cartoon with Swahili subtitles on, absorbing written vocabularies in the background without, extra effort. Uh-huh. Without turning that session to be into a classroom. Easy, right? So let's try that tonight and let's see what is going to happen. Let's know whether they're going to refuse or they're going to go along with it. Okay. So another thing that I want us to know to talk about is that let us turn, our child favorite characters into vocabulary anchors. Uh-huh. So do you know what we can do? Um, we have, the character's catchphrase or, greeting can become, a recurring vocabulary hook that your child actually looks forward to using it every day. Mm-hmm. You know what we can do? We can use a favorite cartoon's character greeting in Swahili, consistently at home, even, outside the show itself. And that way, the child is going to look forward to, you know, using it each and every time. Uh-huh. And again, we can use a consistent phrase to start screen time. Did you know that? That, a repeated phrase to start screen time removes the daily negotiation and, quietly adds a small language routine into a moment that already happens every day. So we are using this repeated phrase, which removes what we call the daily negotiation and quietly adds a small language routine, okay, to moments that, these moments already exist. So we are adding on to it. So you may decide to say, Sasa, You may say ni muda wa kuangalia. It's watching time. Every single time it's screen time. And start the same way every day. Again, so they will know that, oh, ni muda wa kuangalia means it's watching time. Or we can say ni muda wa kutazama. It's watching time. Mhm. So when we do that, it is going to be a habit. And they'll definitely know, okay, this is what it means. And they'll also start using them, using the phrases themselves. We also have what you call group watching with siblings or cousins. Do you know that one boosts interaction? That when kids watch together, they naturally react and act to each and chat with each other. Turning a solo quiet habit into shared and actually a chatty one. Uh-huh. So like your child is used to watching alone, but this time round, they're watching with the cousins or the siblings. I want you to stand at the corner and see what really happens. Are they quiet? Or they are interacting and discussing and being chatty about what is happening or what has happened or discussing on what is going to happen in that particular show. Uh-huh. So sibling watching together and reacting to scenes in Swahili to each other without any adult prompting them at all actually, boosts what we call interaction, and also it helps, you know, it helps with what we call fluency. If you were watching my show yesterday we were talking about sibling teaching siblings. Yeah, like older kid teaching the younger kids. Or we also say that the younger kids when the older kids when they are teaching the younger kids, they're also learning, and that repetition also helps it stick in their mind. So we see now through that will also help them so much in the language acquisition. We can also rewatch shows. Do you know that we can rewatch favorite episodes, to actually deepen absorption. That the more we actually say that if we keep on repeating something, it sticks. The same way here that um there's real value in letting your child rewatch the same episode that they love the most. So this repetition will builds recall in a way that constantly switching to new content than switching to new content. Yeah, so let them rewatch. So, do you know that a child who watches the same Swahili episode several times often ends up quoting lines from the from it days later, unprompted? Yeah, they may not say it immediately, but later on you'll hear them use those catchphrases that were used in that particular episodes. So let them use that. Do not limit them, because it is actually very important for them to repeat, because repetition builds recall in a way that um, they are going to remember. Yeah. So, as we are almost to the end of our stream, I want us to look at one more point that I feel like will help us. And this one is, let us use the ad breaks and loading screen for quick exchange. Uh-huh. I know when we are watching, maybe using YouTube, we usually have a lot of ads running. When we are waiting for the screen to load, we can use those time for quick exchange. What do I mean? Like those small natural pauses during ads or loading skills as loading screens are perfect little window for a quick Swahili exchange. There's no extra time needed. Just use that little window that is there for your exchange. So during a loading screen or ad break, quickly ask, umeona nini? Ama umependa nini? Ama hiki kinaitwa nini? Like we can use, naming of an object that is nearby, you know, than, continuing. And then you continue watching the show after. Mhm. So as we said that today we are not stopping the screen time, but we are being smart about screen time. Uh-huh. So here is what we want every parent to take away today. That the screen time isn't the enemy. Silence around is the enemy. Screen time is not the enemy, but the silence around the screen time is the one that is the enemy. So choose the language, add a little narration. Yeah. Actually back it up with phrases and chat about it afterwards. So we see same screen time, completely different results. Yeah. So it is same screen time, but what we have here, literally different results. Okay. So if today gave you a fresh way to think about screen time, book a free Swahili trial with us, and we will help you find the right Swahili content and routine for your child's age. Okay. So use the link on our description to book with us. And I believe that we are going to be in a position of helping you acquire what you want. Asanteni kwa kutazama show yetu. I was your host, Diana Mekobo. See you in my next stream. Kwaheri.